so incorrect. And that's when it comes to SA, child SA, like you cannot like just like, that is a big accusation that ruins men's life all the time. Even men who didn't have anything to do with that, or even never. Yeah, I mean, I just think that's.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
Fred said a few days later, here's a guy who administered or did this, set him up to wire him or whatever, the device or whatever they do. He was taken off Summer's case. I don't know if it's related, but, and either does Fred. He doesn't know if it's related, but he just thought it was strange. Because supposedly, some of that, most of the conversation, I think pretty much all of it, actually, they did get some, and they got to hear it live, but it was, according to him, completely erased.
And so if he was thinking that Jody Sue's son was thinking dirty things about your daughter, I mean, I don't know what Jody Sue's son was thinking. He may have not been thinking anything at all. But we do know he was thinking something nasty because he said Jody Sue's son was, right? So he had nasty about your daughter.
This really makes me upset. You cannot go, PG, no, I'm sorry, like, you cannot go around saying things about like that so frivolously. That is, you cannot do that. People are already mistaking him with Frank Light. You're gonna put a target on this man's back. Nobody likes a chomo. That is not true at all. It is just, I don't like, that was just, oh my gosh, sorry guys. I'm not mad at EPG, but come on, I mean, that's just reckless.
But I'll tell you, something amazing to me, you know, my last little go-around in jail was the amount of people that they had child pornography on their phones or other devices, you know, and if you have that kind of stuff on your phone, it goes to the iCloud or whatever like that, they will hunt you down and they will find you, and you're going to do a lot.
Really? So he's saying he was in jail with people like this? Is that what he's admitting to? People like that are separated. So were you put in, what, he must have been put in protective custody, huh? Was he in a, he probably was in some kind of special block. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, Fred never said anything about, Fred nor Laura said anything about, I even asked them that question if they ever heard anything like that about Andy, and they both said no. Well, Andy Jr. Or aka Damien, they both said no. That is so incorrect. And that's, when it comes to SA, child SA, like you cannot like just like, that is a big accusation that ruins men's life all the time. Even men who didn't have anything to do with that, or even never. Yeah, I mean, I just think that's.
A lot of time, just for help, and it's amazing to me. I don't even know where they get this stuff or what, but it's so devastating the way they portray little kids in these pornography things.
Well, a lot of it comes from the dark web. There's a dark web that you can go to and access it from there. But also, like in your email.
Listen to Don trying to act like he's completely clueless. Oh, okay.
You got to be careful opening your emails because if opening an email, sometimes there'll be a bunch that attached to that email.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I don't know how to do email then. I mean, people post dirty stuff on my Facebook all the time. I have to check it every day, and they take off.
Yeah, but I do too. I've had some. Where did that come from? I think God is mostly grown women or men, but you know, I had no children. Like, you know, usually grown men or women, and it's usually from another country. I got to be careful not to accept any friend request from people that's in other countries.
I think it's really bad because they portray, you know, these people in scenes like bondage and stuff like that, as if that they really like this kind of thing. And I think it really twists a lot of people's minds, the whole pornography thing. Well,
I don't think that it twists their mind. I think that people that research and get stuff like that, their mind's already twisted.
Yeah, but just look for it.
Because you know, they're actually seeking it. Where are you going?
So that's wondering. Are you heading back home?
Where am I going?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just left a major snowstorm. It's on my tail. Every time I stop, the rain catches up with me, so it's been following me all the way.
You better be careful.
Oh yeah.
So you're driving back to Tennessee?
Yes. Got the hard police took that hard. They was really, not only YouTubers, but the police was just questioning us, like looking hard at us. Everybody was, and it was a complete and utter nightmare.
Once again, like, he cannot take any type of responsibility for any of his actions. Everything that has happened, you know, is the stepsister's fault. All the backlash he's received from YouTube and all the hate, it's just, you know, it's all because of the stepsisters, and, you know, and it's YouTubers' fault. They were focusing on the wrong things, and, you know, and it's YouTubers' fault why Summer's not found right now. That's how he's trying to gaslight this and turn it around, you see? Because that's how I look at it. Don, I think I'm sorry, I just feel like you have to know. I know there's a lot of people who, hey, I've gone back and forth. I go back and forth about it with time. Allie was asleep when Candace picked up H. Allie was asleep. Let me. She was asleep at one point. Was it when she picked him up, or when? Yeah, when she picked him up. Supposedly she was asleep. I feel like Allie and Candace and them and Jody Sue are just all blaming each other because they're all involved. So I think that they're all trying to pin it on each other. But what's going to happen? None of them are going to, if it gets pinned on any of them, they're going to speak and tell on the others. No way is one of them going to take this and take responsibility for this and go down by themselves. I feel like they're all blaming each other, hoping that they can get out of it, but everybody's going to end up singing like a canary. Candace, you're breaking my fucking door. Yep. And it is safe for them to leave their doors open out there. Jane, don't. In my opinion, it's still, I mean, especially. Up there at Dawn and Candace's. Now, not all those places on Ben Hill, but like Dawn and Candace's, nobody's walking through those woods to. I don't believe anybody's walking just straight up that driveway or into the woods. Up into the property. I just don't believe that. It's so far. And no, so they're going to go through all that work, go up there just to see, like, oh, let's see if there's some kids up here. Broke down doors or windows. No, my daughter's never done that. She sure has a temper, though. Well, it's not temper. That's not true. She gets stressed like I do.
You know, you have to look at Jody Sue, her family. You've got to look at Fred Hill. You've got to look at the people right there around you. Right here around you.
We've tried. We have as much as possible.
I know. It's just.
But talking to Fred is like talking to, I don't know. You're not going to get a straight answer out of him. Period. It's pointless.
That is such a lie. He is the most straightforward, he is the most transparent, honest person of anybody. Listen to how much information we've got out of him. Why is he saying stuff like that? Now Haskell Rhines, that's true. Haskell Rhines, you're definitely not going to get us, I mean, because he's, like, he would start talking about what you were talking about, and then he would just start, like, out of nowhere. Like, it was crazy. He kept thinking I was somebody else and talking to me like I was a different person. It was a very odd experience. But I've never noticed Fred being, like, not being able to answer questions. He just got out of jail for DUI. He shouldn't have a driver's license. No, he won't go after. Fred will not go bother Dawn at all. He will not. Now, if Dawn came down there starting trouble, yeah. But Fred's not the type to I mean, from what I've noticed, he's not the type to go out looking for trouble. He just seems to mind his own business and do his thing and, you know, work on his cars, maybe, you know, do a little bit of trading and whatever. That's his everyday thing, is like these little hustles with vehicles, and he's always outside, you know. He's busy. He doesn't go out looking for trouble like that. And he's not, you know, one that drinks. And I mean, he has admitted to doing meth, which, you know, that is concerning, because I do know meth does cause like psychotic episodes in some, but I have never noticed anything, I mean, besides the monkeys thing. But now we've had even, you know, several others confirm this monkey story. When he said that monkey story, though, at first I was like, man, maybe he is a little bit, like, crazy from drugs or something. But now we hear, like, I guess it's just like anybody else, like, believing in Bigfoot or something. I mean, it sounds like it's really possible. They have all those caves out there. I asked Haskell Ryan's nephew, I go, how would the monkeys live out here? They said they go down, or they travel back south, or they, the caves. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. There's all kinds of caves out there. He got pulled over for drinking. I would think at least suspend his license. He didn't even do court-ordered rehab. Why would Fred be the go-to guy that Dawn went to after Summer got gone, then as soon as released, right to Fred again? You know, exactly. Exactly. That's a very good point, Walter Cronkite. Wish I could pin your comment. But, exactly. Because that's not why he went down to Fred's. He didn't go down to Fred's to kick in some meth head's door and see if he had Summer in there. That's not why he did that. He went down there the night that Summer went missing. And just like he went down there the night he got out of jail, or after he got out of jail, just like he just wants to know what Fred knows. See what's being said, and you know, what's the talk around town, and what are people saying, and, you know, Don would get himself into legal trouble when he'd go down there and ask Fred his advice, because he had been in some, you know, trouble before. Which Don's had way more experience with the court system than Fred Hill, so I don't know. I mean, I would think Don would know more, but you know, Fred's one of those that is better with you know, he's not like a an intellect. He's a one that works with his hands, like with mechanics and stuff and fixing things. He's not the one. He's not going to be knowledgeable, like reading encyclopedias and know all this stuff on law. Don always seems to attack those that are seemingly the most honest. We don't even know if it, I guess part of it was deer bones, though. He said, but that's what he said. He said it was partially deer bones. And when you listen to the recording, he even said it was that some of them were deer bones. So he knew it, that some of them were deer bones. But he didn't know if all of them were, because they were crushed. That's why. I mean, if you listen to the recording, he does say that he knew that some of them were deer bones, but
bones, guys. I have recordings. I have my call with TBI and the Hawkins police to prove that, yeah, I saw bones today and they look like little yeah. I'm gonna crack the no, nobody's gonna. I don't know. Just that's why I also am in the process of emailing audio. Like it could be, yeah, they weren't like a adult person. They look small. Like it could be, yeah, they weren't like a adult person. But Fred Hill brought me to him. Yes, I spoke to Fred Hill, guys. Oh, yes, I spoke to Fred Hill, guys. Oh, it was, oh my gosh, guys. Oh, it was so awesome. I had my call with TBI, but I figured I would wait till more people come in. Or, so, oh my gosh, guys, this is so freaking cool. And, he took us over there, and sure enough, there was bones scattered everywhere, broken, and there was a fire pit. I'm shit you not, guys. There was a fire pit, like somebody had been burning, like an animal, or because there was bones everywhere. I don't think this looks like human bones. Or he goes, I don't think this looks like, it looks a little weird to me. I don't think it looks like animal bones. Or he goes, I don't think this looks like, it looks a little weird to me. I don't think it looks like animal bones. That's what he was.
Yeah, they were like crushed and burned for some odd reason. But there was definitely like a mandible that, you know, I guess he was able to tell it was deer.
I've never.
Donald,
Yeah.
did Fred Hill come up there the night Summer came up missing when on June 15th? Did he come down there the very night that Summer came missing to talk with you?
No, I don't think he did that night because law enforcement was all over the place. They parked one of their police cars out right by our house for probably 6-7 days straight. They stayed there all night long in the car. And then they posted up down there on Ben Hill Road, and they pretty much blocked that Ben Hill Road also
Right.
for a long time, for probably 2 weeks. But, you know, he did eventually come up and talk to me and was trying to figure out, you know, in his own mind probably what happened or what's exactly going on.
But
yeah,
he stayed away. He stayed away.
At first.
What is she getting at here? I didn't know Lil PG has such a hard-on for freaking Fred Hill. Is she usually like that, or is it just because Don's on panel? I don't understand. He went down to Fred's the night the Summer went missing. Fred did say he saw an exchange of money between Andy and Don, so he had to have gone down there at some point. I think he did talk about that. I wish my conversation with him would have recorded. I'm so bummed about it. Ugh.
Fred's telling so many lies.
That's a good question. It's a real good question.
What lies? What lies? I don't understand what lies she's talking about.
Oh, Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy. Oh, Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy. Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
And he wasn't avoiding law enforcement. He actually wore a wire for law enforcement. I don't understand where she got this. And he was avoiding law enforcement. So basically, people give you shit, you know, or Jody Sue shit because she was sitting at the bottom driveway for 3 days. But because I don't understand that. Nobody, what, he was supposed to be hanging out there down there at the bottom. He wasn't avoiding law enforcement. What the hell? Is he supposed to be just like sitting at the end of the road for what? I mean, he's not a busybody like freaking Jody Sue. I don't understand what she's saying he lied about. And her saying that, you know, people run with that.
I don't know why he's doing these things exactly. It could be the same reason Jody Sue is, just to throw off all the YouTubers in her own mind. She thinks it's like a game and or whatever. You know, that's what I feel Jody Sue and Fred both are doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what Fred's doing, right? We can't even get him on the freaking phone. Nobody can get him on a panel. You know how many times I've asked him? Come on, Dawn. That is such a lie. I had to go out to him. I had to travel there. He didn't reach out to me. Every time I mean, they don't just only once or twice have they just messaged me with something like info, which is basically just saying, oh, the lights were on up the hill all night. They don't reach out to me. I don't understand what he's talking about. He's not doing anything. I went there myself. I went out there. If nobody would have ever heard from Fred had I not gone out there. So we'd still be wondering what Fred Hill thought. Talk about it to the internet. He talked about it to me. And it was a year after it happened. He literally did not tell me anything about that wire until he didn't even tell me the first time. He told me a year after he had done it. Okay? He told me in June of 2022 about the wire incident. I first met Fred in December of 2021. I went, and he didn't tell me about it then. He didn't say anything. The next time, in June of 2022, almost a year after, that is the time that he told me that he wore a wire. So, I mean, it was a year afterwards, so I guess he figured it was probably okay. You know, I don't think he was probably really supposed to say anything, but he did, because, I mean, after a year, he probably was like, whatever, you know? I'm sure they probably don't think people are going to go around telling people, oh, I wore a wire, you know? Nobody does that. I was surprised that Fred told me that. Would you go around saying that? I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because, you know, no, I didn't even say it when I first heard about it. I didn't even put it out at first, because I'm like, I didn't know. I'm like, I didn't put it out for like 3 months after he told me, because I didn't want him to. First of all, I was like, I don't think I should put it on YouTube, you know. You know, I didn't want to put that on YouTube. I didn't want to give Dawn a heads up or anything like that. Or I also didn't want to cause any harm to come to Fred. But Fred at the same time knew that everything that I say to him is recorded, because, I mean, he's heard the videos and everything. He knows. So he's aware. But I just decided that's the one thing I didn't tell everybody for a few months, because I didn't know how to go about that. But by the time it went on YouTube, it had been over a year and, you know, a year and a few months since he had done that, because he wore a wire. This was within, I think, within the first couple weeks, from my understanding. It wasn't like it was like months later. It was very, very early on when the cops were hanging out there and stuff. And Dawn was coming down there and talking to him, and yeah. They wanted to hear, law enforcement wanted to hear what Don was talking to everybody about, how he was acting when he thought the cops weren't watching.
Until they get.
That it wasn't handled well that night, that they could have.
I think they've done the best they could, but they was given a lot of misinformation by CM. They just threw the whole investigation on from Allie to CM. I ain't gonna go no further with the rest of it.
Fred Hill.
They threw everything off so bad.
What the hell? Is she always like this on Fred Hill? Get off his nuts, girl. What the hell? I didn't know that she had such an issue. If Dawn wasn't on the panel, it would be Dawn Wells, #1 prime suspect. I don't understand this. I understand you have to talk a certain way when you're trying to get information from Dawn, but don't throw Fred under the bus and, you know, associate with him SA just because you want to get on Dawn's good side.
The police didn't know which way to turn.
What made you think Melina Crawford had anything to do with it?
Well, you know, everybody's a suspect, just like the police say. Everybody's a suspect. Well, because she's done some dirty things to me, and she knows what she's done, and I ain't gonna say it, you know.
Come on, tell us, what did you do?
I mean, she knows what she did, and all we did was try to help her. She can say whatever she wants, but we tried to help her, and I don't want to say no more. But she really, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to do that. Yeah. She knows what she did.
What do you guys think he was going to say right there? Do you think he was going to say she talked to a YouTuber, aka Lips? That's what I was thinking. And Don didn't want to say it right then, because he doesn't want to give credibility to the stuff that's going around about Marlena, like the things Marlena supposedly said. Marlena Crawford's husband. Is she married? Is it a black guy, Jane Don't? Playboy is supposed to be a black guy. What is that, a ready person? And I've talked to Laura. I haven't talked to them in a couple weeks. I was staying in contact with them through Messenger you know, pretty regularly the first couple weeks since I had been in Tennessee, but last couple weeks, no, I haven't. But I am going to contact him, and I'm going to tell him. I'm going to clip that. I'm sending it to him. That's bullshit. He's making him look like a pedophile. I don't like that. And I don't like the shit. I'm actually kind of upset with PG about that stuff. I mean, that's... I don't understand. Is she really... Is that how she... I haven't been able to watch her that much, so I didn't know she had... Is that how she usually is about him, or what? I'm sure she did too, miss you, but I'm kind of worried that Allie... Well, if it's true that Jose, you know, is possibly involved, it makes me wonder if Allie is, and did Allie... I mean, gosh, I hope she didn't involve her kids or anything crazy. There's so many crazy things that go on in this world that seem so unimaginable, but they happen all the time. No, she's not 18 yet. If she was 18, I would contact her, but she's not 18. No, she's not 18 yet. If she was 18, I would contact her, but she's not 18. People already did try, you know, talk to her and stuff, but I just don't feel comfortable, like, reaching out to somebody under 18. Now, I did try to reach out with the one kid. He's 18 now, Cameron, and I tried to reach the kid at the end of the road who Marlena Crawford claimed that Candace... He's 18 now, so I did try to contact him, but yeah, I haven't been able to talk to either of them. Those would be that would be very, and if anybody could get those two to talk, but I don't know if anybody would ever admit something like that, you know, that they...
Start eating her nails like Ziggy.
Well, I mean, this stuff is important, and let me just make sure. Okay, I just want to make sure there was nothing in it before I put it up. I don't usually make mistakes. So on January 13th, thank you for bringing this up. I would have forgot. Ziggy interviewed Fred and Frank. I didn't answer. I don't know if I was busy, or maybe it's because she sent this at 12:25 and then 7:49. FBI was at Frank Light's yesterday around the time Ziggy left. I don't know what happened. That was his voice on the recording with Fred. I've been a wreck all night and morning. The thought of her having her daughter around him, I'm a crying mess. Now, that's understandable if she had her daughter around him. Yeah. I didn't know that she even interviewed Frank Light. Did she? Does anybody know if Ziggy interviewed Frank Light? Because Tennessee Truth is adamant. Ziggy interviewed Fred and Frank in capital letters with a crying face. FBI was at Frank's yesterday, and that it was his voice on the recording with Fred. Now, which recording with Fred, I don't know. Let me read.
Oh, Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy. Oh, Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
Hey, Sage, how you doing, baby?
Ziggy went to Fred's on her first trip to Tennessee with kids in the car on her phone recording the conversation. Yeah, but I was curious if she met with Frank, because Tennessee Truth said she did an interview with Frank. We've never heard that before.
Negative.
Ziggy puts a lot of faith into Fred for not having a clue who he was before he showed up on his porch. She showed up on his porch.
He's a damn marksman. He's a marksman.
She's very, yeah, she likes Fred a lot. I would not have gone up there at 2 a.m. by myself. Ziggy is, you know, I'm going to say she's real reckless with her safety and shit, but okay, maybe to test. You want to know why she went to Tennessee, Castellan, I believe? I'll be honest with you, and I might be wrong. Ziggy can clear this up. This is just what I think. I think that Ziggy knew that I wanted to talk to Fred, and that Benny would like to talk to Fred, and she wanted to jump ahead of that. Now, that's just my opinion, and that's totally fine. I'd never tell her she couldn't. Listen, she went and found Fred. She did great work, very useful, and I'm thankful for it and grateful. I really am. I will never say anything different. Thank you, Ziggy, for everything you're doing for Summer. I appreciate those things.
It's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the first thing I had mentioned to you when all this was going on? I was like, well, wait a minute. It's like the first of the month. It's like bill time. And all we hear about is all these money issues from over there. Like, where is she getting this extra revenue that she should be paying ahead on some of these other bills that have become public? Like, what is all this about? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just found the whole thing was a little bit strange. And You know, God bless her. I hope she gets it all
Yeah, God
straightened
bless
out.
is right. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, I don't wish anything. And this is the thing. I come up here and bitch all day about Ziggy. I've fought with Ziggy. I've gone around and around with Ziggy. And like, I really was kind of like feeling that this morning. But while I sit here, well, we haven't listened to, like I said, I shouldn't speak too soon, but I don't see myself getting like crazy with her. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's what she wants. Maybe Ziggy wants a show. Like you said, maybe she wants, you know, to bring some drama to her. Go ahead. I could do drama with you, Ziggy. You want to fight with me? We could do that. But I'd rather be researching about Summer. I don't really, that's not where I'm at. I come from a place I could go back to easily and do drama. I don't want to do drama. It's not what I want.
You know, I wouldn't rule him out.
No,
I just would not rule him out.
No.
You know, and Ziggy's taking a big risk hanging around there.
Especially taking her daughter around that.
Another child, exactly. That is
Well,
not a place for children.
looking into that. I'm sorry.
They
I
met.
met her daughter. Her daughter is cool as hell.
She's got a beautiful little girl, right?
Chili together one night before all this other stuff, and Ziggy was really cool with us, and her daughter was just the sweetest little girl. I can't believe she's taking him around Fred Hill for reals.
Exactly. And yeah, I've been screaming about that. You're right, Kay. I've been screaming about that metal sound for a long time, right?
Did Jody Sue Brown have anything to do with Summer Wells' disappearance? Big yes. Please. Did Andy Bernard have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Jody Sue's ex-boyfriend. Did Jody Sue's ex-boyfriend Andy have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Yes. Can you face forward, please? Does 423 Chase, aka Brad Wishon, have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Does Brad Wishon have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Says yes. Says yes. Big time yes. Big time yes. Okay, can you face it forward, please? Can you move it forward, please? Why are you watching? It's supposed to be for fun, sass ass. Why do you have to ruin our freaking party? It's just all for fun. It could be like just my mom. Does Dawn have something to do with it? We'll ask again. Let's ask one more time for clarification. Did Dawn Wells have something to do with Summer's disappearance? Yes. I think. Okay. Yes. All right. Can you face forward, please? Thank you for answering. Did Fred Hill have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Did Fred Hill have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Says no. Okay, can you face forward, please?
Fred Hill needs to be looked into. And they did not check his property thoroughly. No. They was telling people to check their own properties.
Well,
but I guarantee you, if that was one of law enforcement's children that disappeared, they'd have been on those people's property checking it.
There wouldn't be no damn drugs being delivered and everything's still going on. That's for damn sure. If it was one of their kids, they'd be coming down on everybody if it was one of their kids.
Exactly. Absolutely. And, you know, and Fred lying about being up there the very night Summer come up missing and talking to you, that was a lie.
Yes.
He kept his ass away until he felt it was safe to be there.
Yep. And then inserted himself.
And, exactly. and what better way to get law enforcement off of you than getting your ass wired up for him, right?
Yeah, right.
How can this guy, you know, and I'm telling you, that's criminal mind right there. I mean, of course, a criminal mind's going to think of that if they don't want to get caught, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying that Fred Hill had anything to do with it, but some of the people coming up to see him and everything else, and the traffic that was up in here.
Well,
he's trying to be elusive about that part of it and protect his clientele.
Jody Sue said cleaning metal, and he was hauling off metal that day.
Yes, he was.
He was up there a week and a half before that with 30 thoughts in his mind that he was trying to pawn off on somebody else.
Trying to project it on somebody else.
Absolutely. And, you know, so, I mean, that's motive. That's motive.
Definitely
motive and motivation, right?
It's definitely a red flag.
And his truck would have been down there on the road where the dog trail ended.
Yep. By the time Summer disappeared.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
And she knew him. He wasn't no stranger, and she would have went with him as well. So,
well,
you know, he was gone 3.5 hours to do a job that should only took an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He also, you know, like I said, he was, you know, making himself ghost when the police were around there.
That makes me nervous because I know that
Anybody who wants a large amount of drugs will go to Knoxville, an hour away. If they want to buy a large quantity of drugs, they will go to Knoxville, and they bring it back and sell off whatever, because Knoxville is a major drug hub.
Right.
They sell it on the streets, and the cops don't even do nothing about it whatsoever. Everybody knows that. That's 1 hour away. So if he went and sold some scrap metal somewhere between here and there and went to Knoxville, I don't know. I went to Knoxville a few times and talked to a lot of drug dealers out there and showed her picture out there.
And that would have accounted for about the 3.5 hours he was missing.
Yes, that is true. That's a good timeline. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes, that's a very good timeline. Sell metal, head on to Knoxville, get drugs, head on back. That'd be about 3.5 hours. You damn right. You damn right. That sounds good. You got that right on.
Exactly. I wouldn't rule him out.
No,
I just would not rule him out.
No.
It looks like to me, it sounds like to me. I mean, I need to have Fred say it himself.
He did tell me that the dogs hit at his property and his mom's. So that is concerning. But at the same time, Fred told me this time that he believes that they were trying to set him up. But I don't know. But according to Fred, he did tell me, I mean, he didn't seem worried at all. Like he was.
I mean, I need to have Fred say it himself.
He did tell me that the dogs hit at his property and his mom's.